I hope so. Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Solos44. Welcome back to Craftoria. And today we're going to look at some create. I was going to work on other things, but I decided to go ahead and I promised to do some create, and I hope that this helps if anybody needs help with it. Um, Me personally, I had some issues with create a few times. I didn't quite understand it all. I'm still learning, so please be patient with me. But I'm going to show some stuff. Uh, First of all, I built the wind tower because that's the easiest one for me to do. This is actually a really basic, super easy washer, bulk washing. So if you want to, turn magma into obsidian, that's what I was doing for the longest time. Now I'm good. I don't really need to do that. But magma blocks can be washed into obsidian in this pack. So I use this really easy setup with this tiny little water wheel and a little encased fan, one block of water, and then it blows through. I just throw my magma blocks on there, it becomes obsidian. Cool. Cool. I built this little structure here. Nothing really that great. Unfortunately, I did screw up. Oh man, I really screwed up. You can see right through it. Hold on. Well, I'll fix that later. Oh man, I didn't know you could see right through it. Well, we need lights anyway. Let's just cover up our ugly, huh? I wanted it to light up anyhow. I guess, whoa, I got knocked down by my blades here. I'll explain my setup here real quick. It won't take me that long. There. Now we got some light outside. These are the wrong color. These are actually verdant frog lights, so they're green. And I was supposed to be building them with the ochre to make them yellow, because I kind of wanted it to be more the color of the sand and such. So if I turn on shaders, it's going to look terrible. Absolutely terrible. So I'll be replacing that frog light and the other ones later. This is a lot of rotational power, but it's not very fast, and I had to solve that with some gears. And I put what's called a six-way gearbox. That's something that's new to me, and I love it. I love it. Please, if they could just put that in a regular create mod, that would be fantastic. Following that down, we just drove a shaft all the way down here. I added some water wheels to add even more rotational power, just in case we need it, because we're going to do some funky stuff with these gears. Don't worry about the floor. It's stripped oak. But once I get brass, which is the goal today, we're going to get brass. But that's my goal anyway. Yeah, I'll cover up the shafts and everything with encasings and stuff, and I'll switch that over to brass flooring. So let's go inside, check it out. Super basic, simple little design here. Got enough light, hopefully. This is what I wanted to show you guys. This is a speed increasing system, because we're going to be needing the mixer here. And the mixer has moderate stress need for kinetic energy, so it's not a lot. It's moderate, and that's usually like one water wheel or something. I got two water wheels and the two huge wind I don't know, sails. They're not a wind turbine, but I guess they're a turbine. In any case, this is how I do my speed increasing. A large gear to a small gear. And then you don't have to put a shaft in between these two. People say you do, you don't. You do if you want it to go straight down, right? You need a gap. Otherwise, every time you place one of these things, it'll connect to the one above it, and it'll break, or it just won't place. But you can, if you put it off to the side, you can add one. Put it off to the side, add one. Put it off to the side. Notice that each speed is double, to where we get down to here, and this thing is flying. And now from here, I love that I can add it on here while it's going. I'm not going to move it over. I know it's not straight down. I don't necessarily want it to be straight down because we're going to be doing the mixer. We're going to have to add a heated basin. So we got an empty blaze burner, right? And that's going to be, I want it to be right here. That's a feral flare. I'll probably take that out, but I don't know. I might leave it there because it doesn't look bad there. In order for you to get a blaze burner to work, you have to put a blaze inside of it. And I found a cool trick that I can use. I'm going to need to use a blaze spawner. I had a blaze spawner. I had collected it from the nether using silk touch, so it's just very helpful. You can go around flying around the nether and you can just right click your blaze burners onto blaze that's flying and it captures it inside of there. Um, or you can click on a blaze spawner. So um, since we have apotheosis in the pack, we can tell the blaze spawner don't spawn anything, right? So now it's not going to work unless it gets a redstone signal. Right click it, boom. We now have a blaze burner. And I just broke it because I forgot this does not have silk touch. I'll have to go get another. Oh, I just did that in the doggone private server too. Okay, well, that's gonna be a pain. Wait, my magnet's on, so I keep collecting jellyfish. Let's turn that off. I really kind of want it on though. I don't know where the jellyfish must be really far away. So blaze burners don't work unless you give them fuel. You can give them anything you need that can burn basically. There's also a straw that you can give them, and if you give them a straw, from what I gathered, I don't know if this is the straw that you use. I thought Create had a straw. Oh, that must be an add-on that I have on the private server with problem. Cardboard sword. Well, that's kind of goofy. This is kind of neat. They got a lot of cool stuff in here, but it doesn't. I guess I'm just gonna have to use It don't matter. I'm gonna give it regular fuel anyway. So anyway, we're gonna bring this down, and we're gonna have it mixed up on top of here. So we're gonna place this on top of here. And the whole goal is going to be for us to make brass. So we're going to go ahead and tell it brass. It's one of the few things we don't have any of. And they put it so that this pack, the replication mod, won't make it. Add that to our little deal here. All right, so it's going to require zinc and copper. And I think we have I know we have plenty of copper. But zinc, looks like we got quite a bit of zinc. We got enough zinc to last. Zinc is also able to be made through the as you can tell through the replication mod. So we're good on zinc. We can make more later if we need to. On top of this, we're going to have a mixer. It places it the distance it needs to be already, which is phenomenal. Oh, it looks like we are off by one. Do I want it to go even faster? I want it to go right there. I could get a gearbox, I suppose. 2 gearboxes will work. I'm being lazy. I have put in a lot of these already on AutoCraft. The only thing is I don't have an infinite number of andesite casings because we're going to need brass so we can get the deployer, which is a little hand thing. We don't rotate that. We want it to go like that. Anyway, but the way I want it to, right? Are you kidding me? Oh, I didn't tell you about the other gear. Okay, so there's a 6-way gear up at the top. And that's how I'm going to get so much rotational power. There we go. Look at that thing haul now. All right, so this is now going fast enough. If you don't give it enough speed, it'll tell you that it's not rotating fast enough. That's the reason why I have that mess up there. But that's the reason why this thing is so tall. It allows me to give it all kinds of crazy speed. Later on, once I get to brass, I'll be able to make a rotational speed controlling device. I can try. You got to have a precision doohickey, and then you can change the speed of stuff. But pretty much, we're all ready to go. We just need to get this thing. We just need to get this thing fuel. So we're gonna get a route. Actually, you know what we can do? Yeah, I'm gonna do something that I've never done. I've never tried. But why don't we just do Will it eat an infinite amount of fuel? That's okay. Let's find out because otherwise, now let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna entangle block the blaze burner. Man, I'm getting lost in my own house here. And then we're gonna slash home. It's a lot faster. Gonna head downstairs. Hopefully we don't crash like I did in the last video. I don't know what that was about. I never did find out. All right. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna make it so that it's on demand, give it heat, but not all the time. Because if I tell it to feed it fuel all the time, it's going to I think it'll just eat my fuel up. What do I have for heat? Let's just use coal. For right now, I think we can just use coal. We might even be able to use blaze, but it looks like I got 46,000 blocks of um, coal ore, and I'm not going to go through that anytime soon. So let's see, how are we going to tell it to only go? Can I activate it from here? Oh, it won't let me activate it from here. Will it export though? Otherwise, I'll have to use a router with a redstone signal to control it. Let's find out. I don't want to do this, but this is pretty much the only way I can think of to do this in this weird way. Pretty proud of my setup on my server, so. Whew. No, that don't work. Oh well. I know how to do this. I did it on the server. We'll just do it that way on the like the same way I did it on the server. This is gonna be neat. You guys have probably not seen this done. At least I haven't. I use this wrench. Heck yeah. Okay. Okay. Ixnay on that. All right, we're gonna need a couple routers probably. And this entangled block needs to be the basin. So we're gonna tell it to send. Now, mind you, none of this is really all that possible without all the other stuff I've already done. So you wouldn't be able to, I mean, obviously you're not going to get a sender module 3. Um, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to have a sender module 3 right when you first start. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth here, guys, while I set this auto crafting up. Sorry. Give me a pattern. I have a lot of sugar in my system. I actually have one of my customers gave me a DP, a Dr. Pepper. I don't usually drink any sodas whatsoever, but this is a gift, so I'm going to drink it. And I don't like Dr. Pepper that much. Yeah, I'll see. Tastes kind of weird. Hopefully, he didn't drug me. That'd be terrible. Oh, cool, cool, cool. I didn't know for sure if I had a thing. Okay, so this is going to send our materials we need for brass. So let's do this. Cool, cool. Easy peasy there. That's a gimme. The only thing is now we don't want the blaze burner to run unless it receives a signal. Otherwise, I'll have something that's going to be like constantly feeding it fuel, and I don't want to do that. So the way that I come up with, it's probably common, like super common. Oh, and let's set this for blocking mode because I only want to make one at a time, and we're gonna speed this thing up too. We're gonna give it some stack upgrades, not that many. And some speed upgrades. Again, not that many. Should be plenty. And the mixer can do more than one thing because I don't want it to be full of brass and then not have any room for the andesite as well. Okay, so I there's lots of ways I can think of to do this, and I can't remember how I did it. Okay, I want another router. Let's make 20 of those. Just get that out of the way. I'm going to be using routers a lot. And I think a comparator works. Let's check. If I remember right. I don't use that many comparators. Wow. Really? Oh, I already have it on AutoCraft. Why is it asking to AutoCraft from the replication mod? Wait. Is it because, oh, it's probably because I don't have all the patterns made for the entire thing, right? I didn't make the pattern for redstone torches. Can you hurry up and make at least a couple? At least one, please? I'm gonna have time to make the patterns and to make it before it gets done. Please stick around. I got more to show you guys. I'm telling you, this is just a real quick. Oh, it's the stone. Well, I'll make stone. All right, there's a comparator. All right, I'm gonna check it with a lamp. I want to see. I'm gonna take this out real quick. And if I remember right, you can have a comparator want to face this way. It only has to make a pulse. So we can tell. It works. Okay, so check this out. This is the trick that I use. This sender, or this router, mind you, is going to be set to send only with the high signal. Okay? You follow? Okay, I hope so. And it's going to be set up to be full at all times with coal. Like this. And I shouldn't have to use a crafter, but we can go ahead and use a crafting upgrade just to make sure that it maintains 100% even when it runs out of regular coal. There. So it should fill up with coal. Is it online? Oh, it's missing a channel? Oh, yeah, it's missing a channel. Okay, we can fix that real quick. Uh, just add another dense. Right there. Now it's online. Yeah, I know. I'm just being super quick on this because I want to show you guys this really cool trick. All right, it's only going to send, and it needs to be fast. So I definitely need to get the speed. I don't need a stack because I don't want to send multiple. I just want to send one. It's 6, right? 9. All right, so it's going to send 9. And because we're going to be making so much brass, we're going to want to make sure that it stays full of coal. So I'm going to put some acceleration cards on here. Bam. They're done. Done. All right. Okay. In theory, the idea is when this buffer receives an item, it's going to send a piece of coal to that burner, and that burner is going to burn for a little while, and it's going to make my alloy, my brass, okay? But it's only going to work while the redstone is going into it. Now, it might send more than one. It might send 2 or 3. Come to think of it, let's slow it down a little bit because it might be too fast. But I think this should work. Right? We've got our pattern there. Okay, now we just need here. It's not going to send there? Okay, fine. We'll just use the router. Again, you can't do this if you just started. What's it got to make? Up there. That would have taken forever. All right, so we have a router. Let's see. I guess I kind of have to put it next to it. And we're going to tell it to the right. And I don't care what kind of fuel I use, so that's not going to make any difference. I'm just using this to go back and forth faster so you guys can see this. Automating brass in a different manner. So it's not sending anything because it didn't receive a high signal yet, right? We're going to need a way to pull. I wonder if I could use the same router. In theory, I could use the same router even. Let's try it. So I'm using a Polar 2, and then I'm going to tell it to whitelist brass. And I want it to also send back to the AE2 system. I forgot to add that to the thing. All right. What was I doing? So that should also pull. Should make the brass, pull the brass, send the brass. Right? I'm missing something. I know I'm supposed to be doing something else too. Oh, way over here. It doesn't really matter where I send it, does it? Because it's just going to go into the there. Why don't I just send it back to the one it came from? There. All right. Too much back and forth, I know. Okay, so in theory, the idea is that it's going to send zinc and copper into here, and a piece of coal will then get activated here. And then when this is done mixing, it'll pull the brass and then send it back to the system. All in one swoop. Maybe not. I know it doggone works. On the server, it works. Something very similar anyway. It's receiving the signal. Is it not high enough? Bert? Why didn't it send it? It didn't send. It wasn't linked. I could have swore I linked it. Okay, so it's linked and it doesn't want to go because it immediately just went away. You don't see that? It's because it's not chunk loaded? It is chunk loaded. Oh, maybe it's not chunk loaded. I bet it's not chunk loaded. That'd be my fault. Nope, I bet it's not. No. Well, you know. It also made me need to be right clicked. If it needs to be right clicked, that's fine. I can add another activator to another router. We'll just do it that way. Yeah, it does not want to. Does not want to work. I'm going too fast for you. That's look how far this is. I'm going to keep on working on this bridge. I want to do a little bit more with create with it, but I haven't decided what I want to do. Sure. Okay. Overworld North. Let's try from the top, just in case, because it does. There. Let's try that. Did it stay? It stayed. It went. Pulse? Yeah, pulse. Oh, this one's not going to work either. That's fine. I want it to be on pulse anyhow. Make sure you chunk load, folks. Stayed? Stayed. By the way, that's one of the things that I've had some issues with in this packing here. Oh, it's already received a pulse. I missed it. So just for sake of argument, we'll just give it a pulse real quick. Did it send? It sent. There's my brass. Let's send some more. Let's make sure. Let's do 10. Let's see if it's working. I think it's working. Oh yeah. 10. Just like that. Ready to go. And it's gonna make extra because it's got 40 not some seconds of it or whatever. So I could just keep on sending it. I'm gonna burn through a little extra coal that way, but this is gonna automate brass for us just fine. 10 more. We're gonna go. And this is fast enough that it doesn't have any problems. Matter of fact, let's speed it up a little bit just in case. We don't need a stack upgrade, just this. All right, so now we have brass on demand. Congratulations if you watched all the way through to this video. That's not... Oh, now we can make brass sheets. Now, I'm not going to make a press. I have a machine to make a press, so lightning. Now, this is going to use a lot less fuel, though, than if I was to sit there and constantly have it feeding. So there you go, folks. A simple automated brass. And I think we're going to call it good on this video. I know it's a lot of me going back and forth and a lot of oddness, but at least you know how to speed up the gears, and you know how to auto craft brass my way. I'm just going to do this for the rest of the video, guys. I'm just going to change this over to brass like I intended from the beginning. With brass, you can then make precision. You can do all kinds of stuff. Let's go ahead and make 100. We'll really push the system. Because of how fast this is, I actually could probably have it. Yeah, pulse is good enough. Look at that. See, it's pulsing in the coal, making sure it's got plenty. And in between the coal, it should be pulling the brass. Oh, that's right. I can tell it the order of events by changing these if I want it. Yep, you can see it. It's grabbing the brass. See? Brass. No problems. Could it clog up? I think it could probably clog up in theory, but I don't think it's going to. I have it running on my private server, so it's almost exactly the same, except for I use the redstone thing and all this other stuff on the server, but I figure using a comparator with a pulse on it is just fine. Yeah, I think the brass casings look way better than logs. Come on. Yeah, make sure it's on pulse. I think that's the right way to go. Oh, no, I can't get to that one underneath it. All right, automating brass. Success. And you see it's pulling. Maybe I do need to do a stack of grain. Maybe one. Just to give it a little bit more oomph. All right. And I got extra time on there. Now, what else can we do with the mixer? I will go ahead and, I mean, okay, technically I could set, instead of having this with the router, I could just, entangle block this, but this works just great for me. So yeah, there's other ways of doing this. This is my way of doing it. It's really simple, and hopefully you learned, or if you had any questions on what's going on, especially with the gear thing, with the speeding it up. I think it actually looks cool too. So the next thing we're going to work on next video is going to be the deployer. And so we're going to get the deployer to be automated. And that way we can make andesite casing on demand. We can make any of the casings on demand. I think you can just give it the deployer pretty much whatever you want. Brass sheets. I'll do that off camera. I'm going to use the brass sheet is just going to be brass going to the press machine that, well, I could either use, I don't know which is faster. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out which is faster. I've got two different ways of doing it. Or I could make the belted version for create. I don't want to use it because it's a press is boring. It's just the same old, same old. And I've already got two systems that can do plates anyhow. But I want to see if it's even going to work. So before I leave, let's just go ahead and check that. I want to see if I can use magic to do this. This is a really cramped area, but it should work if I throw. Look at that. I got room. Don't pick that up, please. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put that on autocraft. Wait. Oh, you punks. They made it so that you have to use the press. So Guess what we're set? I'm gonna set that up. Poop. Yeah, it don't work. I was hoping. I was hoping. Uh, that's ugly. All right. There. No, it's all ugly, really. I don't really care for the way this is. Not well. This all looks. I like the way this looks, but yeah, it's iffy. I need to change this too. Even though this is neat, it's slow. And then right to the maid's castle. I want it to open up, and then I want to run um staircase that opens up as well, just for aesthetics. That's funky slow. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate you. If you know, you know. I love you and I miss you. Um, I'm here for you if you need me. Take care. Bye bye.